Is it hard to complete your goals? Or perhaps, in the face of adversities, setback, challenges, you find yourself giving up? Well, look no further, because I'm going to summarise all the key learning from this book, Grit to Great. Grit is about the power of perseverance, passion, and great is about getting you from ordinary to extraordinary. Sounds great, doesn't it? Let me tell you more. Well, people with a high degree of grit are able to stay focused and motivated, really no matter what obstacles or failures they face. And this is a bit about being a self-starter, showing initiative, but of course having this resilience to persevere. Now the thing is, some of us are lucky and have high IQ or natural talent, but even if you've got that, you still need grit to keep going so that you can develop and achieve the best you can. And arguably, if you're not naturally talented at something, you're more likely to develop grit, because if you don't give up at the start, you have to try a bit harder than everybody else to develop a skill. And then you keep using that extra effort and momentum, and over time it compounds and you can become great. So the other thing that sometimes occurs in life, you're asked to take on an unfamiliar task. And this can be challenging to any of us. You may think, am I not qualified for this? Do I have the relevant experience? But if you flip the coin round, then in fact, look at this as an opportunity to learn and actually allow it to resonate with what relevant previous experience that you may have. Or if not, it may just be an opportunity to learn something new. Because remember, it may be that somebody has selected you, believing in you, that you can actually do this. Your peers may think that you could become an expert if you can keep trying. When we think about strengths and assets that we all possess, it's important to remember these are often counterbalanced by weaknesses and vice versa. So remember, in yourself and in other people you encounter, particularly other members of your team, you may be able to think what they're particularly good at and what they're not so good at. And this may explain to you, if you're, instead of focusing on what their weaknesses are, you can actually think of how this helps them be strong in another thing. And equally, if you're giving feedback to somebody, you can mention it in that way. You know, you're always a perfectionist, which can help some projects, but perhaps that is the reason why you're perhaps short-tempered when other people don't have the same perfectionism views. And if you're wanting to learn more about perfectionism, I've done a video previously with my thoughts on it. Another thing is about going the extra mile. This is important. You know, there is a saying about what one of the 10 pull-ups gives you the most benefit. Well, it's pull-up number 11. That's not in this book, but devoting an extra half an hour a day to develop a skill, if you can really push on that, it will compound. Because if it's a skill, a goal, something about your job, in the long run, the dedicated practice really will make a big difference. Because if you think of it, in a year, if you've done half an hour a day, you've done 180 hours in that year. And that's certainly getting you to great. So let's sum this up. It's all about the grit, the guts, resilience, initiative, and tenacity to persevere in the face of setbacks, even when your dream may just seem slightly out of reach. But grit isn't just boring, although if you listen to some experts, they do say that it's the ability to keep going, doing boring things, and practice to become an expert. However, it's not just boring, because grit needs to be fueled by passion, that unquenchable passion, endless zeal that gives you that grit to keep going despite all the odds. And if you've got to the end of this video despite all the odds, I'd love it if you watch some of my other videos. I'll see you next time.